do 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 do. Right, fix my thumbnail, and now I'll get up my chat. I can see everybody who joins, and my sound works, which is perfect. We don't need to check that. Right, just fixing the quality on the video so it's the same speed as what I'm playing as. Okay, so welcome to the Stanley Powerball Ultra Deluxe version. This is the version for consoles and the new version for the PC. This game was released back in 2013. I'm going to go through all the endings that I know of, and I will show you the endings that don't work, so don't worry about that in case you're wondering if all the endings do work. Some of the endings do not work on this version, so I apologise for that in advance. So let us begin.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Now, if you've never played this game before, there are multiple endings to this game. But I'm gonna fix that first. Oh, did I 7? 8. 8. We'll go for 8. There we go. So there are multiple endings. I'm gonna go through the ending that is supposed to be the correct ending, so you guys know where we start from, and then I will do the other endings in a more stranger way. So we'll do the first one, and the second one, then third and fourth, and fifth and sixth and seventh, and so on and so forth. And don't worry, I will keep a rolling tally in my head of how many endings I am on. So if anybody wants to know what other endings we can do, we can. So we're going to do ending 1, the viable ending as it's known as. Here we go.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm going to make sure that you hear all the narrator's lines, because they're all very unique. Nothing on the monitors, nothing here. Obviously, still talk to you guys, just I'll be quiet when I need to be quiet. For the narrator to do his own thing.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Door on the left.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
There we go. Walk past the broom cupboard.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Upstairs. And we can't go in here yet.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Nope. So the keypad is here. They say it's behind the boss's desk, which should be here. It's just on the wall over here.
Stanley just sat up, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Step to the new passageway. In a second. There we go. Okay. Passageway. Elevator. Going down.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Okay, stepping out of the elevator.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Through the big door. Straight ahead. Don't worry about the sign. We'll come back to the sign later on.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had
So,
Stanley
what's
really
in
been
there?
under someone's control all this
427.
time? Was this the only reason he was happy
There we
with
are.
his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was
There's a
unthinkable.
private over there.
Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? Here was the
Okay.
proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Dismantle the controls. Let's do it. Mind controls idle, waiting input.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Okay, ending 1 complete. Let's go do ending number 2, which is the other control button ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'm going to go a bit faster so we get a different voice line from the narrator.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave
in the
of
boss's room.
disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Down we go. And out the door.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Through the large door. Press the button.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom
Oh, that
meant
one's
nothing.
broken. Is that one on the 233? 234. Interesting.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Nah.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's
So,
that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are?
none of these buttons
A
do
moment of
anything.
solace before you're obliterated. All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off?
No,
I mean,
nothing.
look at you. Running from button to button.
Nothing but whether you
screen to
push doesn't
screen,
matter.
Clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons. No, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
Okay, ending 2. Well, what we'll do now is we'll work from the endings from the control room backwards. So
all of his co-workers were gone.
a little bit faster this
What
time.
did it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
We
memo.
can start doing this one as well. Input received. That is for another ending. We're going to build up towards it.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Actually, we can
Yet
do 2
there was
endings
not
here.
a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Right. We'll do it once here. We'll do the broom closet ending and the bottom of the control room ending. So
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA. Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused. You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right?
Yep.
If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
I know, that's why I'm in here.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning. Stanley was fat and ugly and really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers. Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed in front of your screen. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Okay, that is the broom closet ending. For you guys. Right, bottom of the mods room.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
So, the thing back here, there's an elevator. We can get into, but it doesn't go anywhere. Oh, sorry. I'm back out here, it's just exactly the same room.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Kill surprise.
Cool surprise. Indeed. Da da da. Now there are 2 more endings this way, and then we never come this way ever again. Or we did go up we never go up the stairs once more.
Through the large door that
But that's
read
it, yeah.
Mind Control Facility.
Yeah, get in there, get in there, get in there, get in there. So, push the button.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
No. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna get on top of this chair, onto this side bit, onto the rail, and jump off.
Aha! You've made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. Welcome! You see, back when the Stanley Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the mind control facility was a bug that we simply didn't catch during development. And you all sent us lots of photos of it on Twitter and acted very superior about it. And you're all very, very clever. Good for you. Anyway, when it came time to update the game, we knew that we had to do something about this little goof of ours, so here you go. New content. You can call it the bottom of the mind control room ending, if that enhances your perception of the value of these updates. Isn't that what you crave? New content? Always more content, more content, more. And I'm here to give it to you. I'm here to make it seem like we really covered every nook and cranny of the game, with secrets and Easter eggs. How about this? We wrote a new piece of music just for this section. You won't hear it anywhere else in the game. It's a secret that's just for you. That's how special you are. We call this track, Good Job You've Made It to the Bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Well done.
Good job, you did it. Good job. 3, 2, 1. Good job, you made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. You jumped on the catwalk. You should have been careful. You should have been careful. It used to be a bug, but now it's an ending. Now it's an ending. I believe in you. I believe in your ability to cross this barrier and chase your dreams. But railings don't mean anything. Good job, you did it. 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 Good job, you did it.
Okay. Off we go.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Beep. Right.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Right, and now we're going to go down that side bit that says escape for everybody who wants to know what that
Yet there was
place
not
holds.
a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping he'd coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
We got a bit faster this time.
Here's the door, just go.
Oh, thank you. Right, no, wait, last time I would be... Sorry, second last time I'll be up here.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Except we're not going to do that, we're going to turn left down this passageway that says escape. This way.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Ooh. Dread. Ah. Da 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 da.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated, as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
These are just little extra bits you can go around and have a look about if you want to. We're going to just get on. This is the credits area. We're just going to get on with the rest of the endings though, because you can come back here anytime. There we go.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Dead again. Da 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 da. Okay, let's go get the heaven ending.
All of his
Heaven
co-workers were
ending.
gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ah yes, I, Stanley, have missed the memo about the meeting room.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
We're
he
going
entered
to
the
go
door
to
on his
heaven
left.
now. Going to heaven, heaven ending, heaven ending. What?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Beep. Begin the game again, because we can't go back from that point in the game. Doo doo. Well, we can, that's another ending, but not the ending that we're doing. We're gonna do the heaven ending. Right, one more.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
Yeah. Hello? Where's the button? There's a button. Okay. Oh, here, we'll go down the stairs. Do the downstairs ending.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Wait.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the
Nope.
possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. "I'm dreaming!" he yelled. "This is all a dream." Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Oh no.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Okay. So to get to the heaven ending, you just turn after you press all the buttons. And I'll do this. Very bright. Just some buttons that you can press. Anyway, and we'll go and do the space pod ending now, because everybody doesn't. A lot of people don't know how to do it correctly, and I'll show you guys how to do it. Right.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could
We're
it
at the
mean?
end this now.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Mr. Memo? I hope not.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Now, because we'll be revisiting a lot of areas a lot of times, the narration will be a little bit daunting. Just
Yet there was not a single
You'll get used to
person
it.
here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
right. So what you're gonna do is you come to this door and you can walk forward a little bit.
Here's the door.
There we go. So you want to walk backwards and forwards until you just pass the threshold where it closes and walk backwards fast. And then we're going to go backwards. Backwards to the way that we came, all the way back to our room. Because now the game is reset, obviously, because you walk through all these doors when we come back around. So just walking all the way through. You'll see that none of the doors are closing, all the doors are open. Apart from that one. Just remembering our choices. And there we go, and this door in here. This elevator doesn't work, so you just need to walk up these stairs all the way up. 755. Seven, 5, 6. 7, 5, 7. So we're next to 4, 3, 3. So the person that was bugging out was on the other side of the other side of that wall. Seven, 5, 8. They just repeat themselves. 5, 9, all the way up to 800. 760 escape pod. Here we go. There we are. Right, we're gonna do the window one. So you're about to heaven, you just press this button again. Back to the heaven area. We'll do the window one.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Now there's 2 endings out of this
No matter
window.
how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't
Chop.
find a trace of his co-workers.
So we go out this window twice. So how you do that is you come to this chair, you want to crouch, walk towards the chair, you'll up a little bit, stand up, crouch again, and walk towards the end. Just push this character along, and crouch again, and go out the window.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Ah, then in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option?
Yep.
Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer?
It is.
How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich.
About another 2
Perhaps
hours.
You just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever.
How's the stream going?
Cheers.
Yeah, going well.
I would watch it, but my phone's gonna die, so...
Yeah, it's fine. I'm just gonna restart the game and go press number yes. Out the window.
Ah.
I'm just doing all the things that I know that work.
Alright.
So I started with the with the normal ending, and then I've gone backwards, getting stranger and stranger.
Alright. Oh, I'm just gonna jump onto some Digimon.
Cool.
Hello.
That's
I'm
fun.
saving the Gold Cup. I'm still doing it and whatnot, but
Yeah,
I need
but
some memories up.
Anytime you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately.
That's where I was going. I was going to Zaxxon.
From the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
Where were you at the arcade? Why? 'Cause
Right,
bullshit.
back on this, and back over here, and crouch out the window again. Da da da.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think?
So my guy's
Isn't this a fun
abilities,
and unique place to be?
mostly
Why don't
60.
we
I've
take
got.
a minute just to drink it all in?
Once they stop talking, I'll read it.
Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could
So my
literally just
Guilliman's
restart
ability's
the game
81,
any old time you want.
Which means he can go up
right
into Gallant one now.
Yep.
You could have done it just then.
My
Now would
Hishira
also be an appropriate time to
Big
quit.
Dragon.
Any of these points
His
and
is
so
41.
many more,
Yep.
all of them are appropriate.
But I'm not too bothered
I'm
about that
enjoying what seems
because
to be an
my
internal
other guy, my
conflict going on where you are literally unable to
Doraemon.
act on your own
is at
desires to
90.
restart the game.
Yeah.
So it just means
Just
I'll
to
be
push
going
the
from him.
envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable
My
as
Matt
possible
Galgamon's
and see how
37, which
long you can
isn't too bad
maintain.
because he's just going to merge Galgamon BM. That's me at the moment, so I'm just ability training Doraemon till he's 100. Guilliman, I'm going to start heading towards his thing, so I need more
But
memory.
the truth must
Yeah.
be told, he was not very old,
It's such a
and was
problem.
quite particularly
I wish they
gay.
didn't have this problem.
What Stanley liked most was buttons.
I understand what the problem's there, but you know.
Like some kind of
Fuck off.
glutton. He did it all day.
So,
in a meaningless
I was playing
way.
some
But his
Apex this
brain
morning.
had long ceased
I got a
to
couple
run.
wins.
Which
was
is
buzzing a
why
bit.
he's in this parable.
I managed to
I-
get one
His
win
existence
this morning,
terrible.
and then
Yeah.
on my
if
and then
you are
on my
not strong
stream I got second
and
3
keep
times.
playing along, you
Ah.
too will become quite unbearable.
I got one win. I got Newcastle now.
Will
Oh,
become
nice.
quite unbearable.
I managed to level up and get them. And we got some backdated money for the kids. So I took £8, put it in the console, and got the battle pass as well.
Yeah, I also got the battle pass earlier.
I've just been slowly working towards getting up the levels.
Yeah, I'm currently at level 8.
I don't even know where I am, to be honest.
I think that's where I left it.
My plan for the night, when I got on, because I didn't know what was happening fully, was to do some Digimon whilst you're doing whatever you're doing. Go have a look at the Slay the Spire run, see what the challenge is. Possibly do that. And then maybe do an extra run on Slay the Spire, try and do the green guy.
Yeah, that's that.
And then probably do some Apex or something.
Yeah, that's fine. Just gotta wait till the music ends. I'm just gonna tell the guys, the one guy that's on my stream, that there's a lot of talking in a lot of these endings, so just be prepared to sit down and listen.
Aye.
It's a lot of narration.
A lot of narration.
So I think this first stream I'll just do all the normal endings that are in the game anyway. I'll leave all the new content for the next stream.
Because that's a whole new fucking...
As a whole, yeah. I still haven't went through all of it when I first went through it, so...
Fuck's sake.
And also, I'll say about the picture that I took that I showed you on the front screen when you were here on Saturday. And how I managed to get that.
Alright. That reminds me, what are you doing tomorrow?
So far I am jet washing the glade area where we keep the hot tub. And then that's it, why? Just
because tomorrow she's going out with pals, so I'll be sat down, fuck all pretty much. Keeping an eye on the kids.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Wait, Stanley
probably end up sitting playing the console or whatnot, but
how is that possible? They
wondering.
Surely I was mistaken. No, the
been so bored today.
For now.
I'm gonna try and get some juice tomorrow, so I might just commandeer the Jeep tomorrow. Go get some juice from the shop for Saturday. Right, let's go die in the room.
I have half a bottle of
simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision?
Couldn't I think I've got half a bottle of Red Cola there and a full bottle of Dr. Pepper.
No.
I've got a full bottle of Tango and a full bottle of fucking Fanta as well.
Jeez.
Stanley thought to himself,
I went from having no juice to having too much juice.
Nothing will break me. In here I can be
well, see, I've got enough juice for myself for today, tomorrow, and Saturday. And I've got enough juice for drinking and stuff on Saturday. But I haven't got any just juice for Saturday evening.
The one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt,
because we play, but then we also like to just we'll have a drink, but then we're also like to just drink normal stuff as well.
Yeah. So I want to have both options there.
He will be told
just see how the day goes.
Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer.
You don't fight me. That's right. You're the weird one.
Here it comes.
Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Memory up.
Memory up. Memory.
I'm so annoyed because at the moment I can't accelerate. Because my Guillimon's not digivolved.
Ah.
But I'm like, I can't digivolve him at the moment because I've been de-digivolving him to get his ability up.
All of his co-workers were gone.
It's so annoying.
Stanley decided to go to the
because as much as I'd love to just sit in the offline Coliseum and just level these guys up to fuck, and then digivolve, I ran into the memory problem quite quickly.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered
these maids are annoying.
Right, first I'm going right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just
I'm up to 50.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to
I
spend
think
a
what
few
I'm gonna
moments
do
here in this immaculate.
is I'm going to do my main team here.
Stanley
Maybe do a
simply stood
secondary
here,
team,
drinking it all in.
and then New Game Plus it, and work on a third team.
Mhm.
And then just keep
But
doing
eager
that.
to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Straight ahead.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Right.
Look,
Wife.
Stanley, I think
Wife
perhaps we've
ending.
gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not
Wife
trying to be
ending.
really, I'm
Wife
not.
ending.
I realize that investing your
quiet.
trust in someone
No,
else
you can
can
keep
be
talking.
difficult, but the fact is
I know,
that
it's
the
just that
story
there's a
has been about
lot
nothing
of
but
dialogue
you
in Stanley
all this
Parable.
time.
Oh, I know, but I've got
There's
subtitles on,
someone
so
you've been neglecting, Stanley.
they can always just
Someone
read.
you've forgotten about. Please.
I'm
stop
annoyed that the
trying to
best
make a
ending doesn't
decision
actually
by
work in
yourself.
this.
Now, I'm not asking for me.
Does it not?
I'm asking
No.
for her.
So there's the ending where which I'm going to do,
This is
which
it,
we
Stanley.
answer the phone,
Your chance to redeem
and the ending where you
Yeah.
unplug the
to
phone.
put your work aside, to let
Didn't we
her
try and do
back
that
into
unplugging
your
one?
life.
I tried it, but it
She's
just crashes the
been
game
waiting.
every time that I try it.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to tell you guys that you
That's
can
her,
unplug the phone
Stanley.
at the wall,
You need to be
but
the
it will
one
break the
to do
game.
this,
So we're just
to
going to
reach out
pick up
to her. If you can
the phone.
Well, annoyingly, user all data and my fucking virus has been de-digivolved. Shit.
Uh oh. I always have one virus type, regardless.
Oh, Stanley, is that you?
I've got one of each.
Hold on,
I've got
please.
two datas at the
Sorry,
moment because of
I'm just
the
trying to find
level
another
he's
one.
at. But I'm like, my virus at the moment is
All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about
I want to see a layer below.
Gotcha.
So I'm like, shit.
Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. This is a very
go.
sad story
You're
about the
dead.
death of a man named Stanley. Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch.
You're a virus,
Now
you're a virus.
he's going home.
Ooh.
Now he's coming back to work.
That's just a bad team to
None
go up
even
against
feel sorry
Faye.
for him, except that he's chosen this
They're
life.
all viruses and she's got that big bird.
But in
Yeah.
his mind, in his mind, he
just
can go
thunderfall all
on
your
fantastic
asses.
adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss,
Yep. No.
everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
It's a new invisible wall there.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to
Don't
fill
you
it
just
with many
love invisible
possible
walls?
paths and
Well, you used to be able to just walk up to the
Down
door
one
that you
path
came
led
in,
an
but you
enormous
can't now.
round room with monitors and mind controls.
Good damn game
Down
with its
another was a
mechanics.
yellow line that weaved in many directions, and down another was a game with a baby, and he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer.
Bonk.
How could there possibly be? In reality,
Desk.
all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this. That in this world he can never be anything but an observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop.
2v3 domination
watch
battle,
this.
we still win.
Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button,
maids are really
do
shit.
not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that
my
he'll
head just died.
understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed
Please
a button.
die.
And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And
I tried. Now, I really like the ending where you unplug the phone from the wall, because that's the ending that I found just by mistake.
Yeah.
You know, just fucking around in the room. But
I'm annoyed at the one where you try and turn on the mind control shit, and it like
yeah,
the
it doesn't.
buttons don't do
The
anything.
buttons don't do anything. Yeah.
It really makes it seem like
all
they
of his
do.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Meeting room, new content down that door. We'll leave the new content for the next stream, guys.
Do you ever think Erica just has a Wi-Fi signal?
Yeah, totally.
Like for her to
She
be able to
just
connect
goes
to
out of-
her memory.
Yeah, and whenever she collapses, she just has gone too far from her point of origin.
Stanley came to a set of two open
From the
doors.
Wi-Fi
The
box.
Wi-Fi box.
To the meeting room, and Stanley knew it
He's an
perfectly
Ethernet.
well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first. Just
Oh, it
to
could have been
admire
that Mimitan on her shoulder, like
Wow.
that's what I thought it could have been.
Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door.
So
on his
what is like a
left.
14-year-old doing wearing like one of those lace straps
Stanley
on
was
her
so
leg?
bad at following
Well,
directions. It's
you know that
incredible he
the
wasn't 5 years ago.
consent age is 12, so
Yeah, no, I know.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've got
But
on
like,
the wrong foot.
this game was released
I'm
in
not your
everywhere.
family, really, I'm
Surely
not.
everywhere was
I
like, no,
realize that
can't
investing
have
your
that.
trust in
It's
someone
too
else
young.
can be difficult. But the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you.
Oh yeah, the
all
fucking
this time. There's someone you've been neglecting.
part-timer
Stanley.
left.
Someone you've forgotten about.
yeah.
What? Really?
The part-time
And in the
lassie.
middle of something,
Oh, yeah.
do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why?
Yes.
I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
It was on your side, then my
Now listen
side,
carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through
through
the
the
red
red door. Let's go kill ourselves.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted
Did
you
you
to
want
be
that?
happy all
Did
this
you want that?
time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying
Nick,
to get
I'm going to the
somewhere
Digimon
that
Den.
isn't here.
Okay.
Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right
Don't
now.
even know where it is.
Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley?
Meant
I
to say
just-
Demon's
I
Den.
wanted to stop. We would both be so much
there you're
happier
a prick.
if we just
Come here.
stopped.
I really
And
should have
think-
digivolved my guy
well, I
first.
think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
That's not too bad, they're most of viruses.
That or works off of a
What do we want?
3G
looking for?
mobile data, and then she gets on the E and it doesn't work anymore.
Aye. She's just gone into a place to back the signal, so she always collapses.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place. No, wait. Where are you going?
I'm gonna kill myself, obviously.
Oh no.
So what are you
Stay
doing?
away
Every
from those
fucking
stairs.
end
If you
story,
hurt
isn't it?
That is
If
that
you
is the
die,
end of the game.
will
You
reset.
just kill yourself.
We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley. No!
Is it just me or are all hackers fucking pussies?
No.
I'm not even
No, what are you
trying hard and
doing,
I beat
Stanley?
them.
Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what
But
I
the
was
only reason the
before.
guy at the end of the
If
offline
you
Coliseum
die, we'll
beats me is
both
because
go
I
back.
let
Why
him.
are you doing this?
Too far.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do my
Speed
card?
charge.
Is
Speed
this really
charge.
how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You were literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
Yeah. Just.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out
This is
of
the
it.
only ending where
know
you
anymore.
actually get slower
I
the
just
more
wanted
time you
us to
fall
get
off the top of
involved.
this rail.
But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted
Because
to make a
before you
choice
just
after
ran with like
all.
the same speed.
Well, this one is yours.
Dead.
Is it
There you
over?
go.
It's going to restart, isn't it?
Yep.
I'm going back.
Going back. Do 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 do. Right. Blue
All
door
of his
ending.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art.
Next.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you
Yep.
that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why,
Yep.
I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Nope.
Now listen carefully, this is important.
Stanley walked
through
the
red
blue door.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked... All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section.
Well,
of the
way
map,
to start your
because
turn.
You were never supposed
Start
to be here
straight
in the
off with a
first place.
fucking restore.
Broken room.
Not done anything to you yet, pal.
Textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out
Yeah.
specifically for you?
Full heal.
I do not think I put a lot of time into that, because I did. And
All
in
right,
the
I
end,
feel
it was
helpful.
all for
Feel
nothing,
anyway.
because this is what you wanted to see. Help me
Fuck
here,
you.
Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me
It's
take
like
a
the,
stab in the dark at a new design.
So it's like the
Give me some
if the
feedback.
Pokemon could speak
There
back
we
to
go.
you one.
A third option. This already
Yeah.
feels leaps ahead of
You know,
where we
it's
were
like he keeps
before.
using
Go
Thunderbolt.
ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
And it gets to the end and it's like he's got like 2 like FP left and he's like, use Thunderbolt! Use Thunderbolt! I can't.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from?
No
How
idea.
did I know the game needed a third door? Well, It's instinct, mostly. A calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul.
Funnily enough, there's a
Can't
quest
teach
with that pal.
Stanley. Don't even try.
So much makeup and jerky, and
Based
who
on
would
the
recognise
data
him
from
with
the
it?
previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Next door.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on.
And we're
Now
gonna
would be
let
a
the baby
lovely opportunity
burn.
to give it some play testing. You wouldn't
What
mind
the
taking
fuck?
a look at it, would you? Perfect.
What?
Let me
Maybe I
boot it
should
up.
be watching your stream.
Do you want to? You can do.
What baby bear? I can't, my phone's dead.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards
What-
danger.
what baby burn?
You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and
There's a
tedium
baby
of
that's gonna
endlessly
crawl
confronting the demands
left
of
towards
family
fire.
life. I think the artwork
I had to press
will
this button
really
to stop the baby
notice.
from going that way.
But of course, the message of the game only
But
becomes
you didn't.
clear once you've
Well,
been
it
playing
wants me to
for
play
about
do it for 4 hours.
So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience. You heartless bastard. Did
Yep.
you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me?
I just hate
Because
babies.
if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here?
Hey, you want to see some
Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give
what,
it a
you
shot.
want to see some Rocket League in a bit? You can look at my stream. They put Rocket League in the game.
Alright.
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity.
I always get the name of this
far,
game wrong.
I love everything about this game,
that-
Stanley. And it seems there's even more.
File
Let's venture
Firewatch,
outward and see what else is out there.
Think so?
the one where you're like on top of a fucking watchtower.
Tower defense.
No. It's an open world game.
I don't know.
Oh no. No, it can't be.
Oh, I can't remember.
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off.
Whoa.
Thank goodness, Stanley, what a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around, no right or wrong directions, no path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls.
Another game with big
Something
walls
with
that I can't get out of.
Big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Here we are.
Wonderful. See, this is exactly
Rocket
what I
League.
had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost
Have
here.
you seen the
Now
whole
this
sumo thing
is
Rocket League
game
did?
design.
I've not,
Stanley,
no.
if you manage to get
You could.
lost in
It
this
was
game,
basically
I will be
last one
phenomenally
standing,
impressed.
and you could flip into guys and grab them and fling them off the map.
Okay, so what exactly
It's fun,
do we do
naturally.
here? Let's see.
Have you
There
been
are
playing
lots of
Rocket League
cars here
again,
in the
or is
back,
it
but
just somebody
obviously
else on your
there's no racetrack.
account?
Okay, I'm seeing that there's
I
a
played it for a
ball
wee
of
bit
some
just to
kind
try
back
out the
here.
new mode because I've
Is
seen it
this
on
game
TikTok.
Sports ball? Stanley, I think it's
I didn't play too much of actual Rocket League because
we
I've
shall
not
run the
played it
bases
in
and do a
ages and I'm not
touchdown
trying to
together.
get back into it really.
I think surely we must.
But I played the Wii
Stanley,
thing and it
here's
was
the ball.
fun
Have fun.
for like a bit before I realised people were already sweating it.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun?
Really
Is it
something I
better
don't know
than
if I
my
could be
miserable
bothered
little
learning
story that I
again, to be
worked so
honest.
hard on? Stanley, I have a thought, and I
All the
realize
new
I'm not a
mechanics, all the
sportsologist,
new
but if
rules and all
one
that shit, I don't even know
generates
if
a
it could be
certain
arsed.
amount of raw
There's new
adrenaline
rules?
pleasure, then surely
I just mean like the new
multiple
like
balls
community
makes for
rule
an
kind of
even
thing.
more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out.
Do you know how you could do a
Here
real
comes another
one?
ball.
Kind of like that.
Yes. Oh goodness, that really does feel amazing.
Seen a
doesn't
clip
it?
from the
Stanley, I'm like a
RLCS
child
actually
in a
where like,
confectionery
these
shop.
two pros
I
got into
simply
Real One.
have to have more.
One of the
Yeah.
pros
Insatiable.
broke it, and the
More
whole
balls.
crowd, like the whole fucking stadium, booed his ass. They got absolutely demolished anyway, but like the whole, it was about like everyone just started booing him.
Yeah, because the rule one is if you get in a lock, you stay in the lock.
Are you enjoying this, Stanley? Are you having
You don't
fun?
fucking break it.
Is this
Don't break it, you
You're
just,
there.
you're there
Well, I
and
sure
you
hope
go
you're
as
having
hard
a
as you
good
can
time,
until
because
you're out
guess
of used.
what? It's over.
That
That's right.
That
Your
was
little fun comes to
not
an
as hard as what it
This
should have
is
been.
my game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley.
I
Besides,
just thought the
you
mod
need
friction with the guy
someone
that's
like
making
me
it
to set
the
boundaries
boy
for
work
you.
like
Without
really
rules or
fucking hard.
boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes,
And I
that's
two-shot
what
him.
I am structure. I'm your sense of purpose. And since
Literally
you decided
Matt
you didn't want to
Galgamon
play
and then
my
Big
game,
Dragon.
now I don't want to play with you either. So goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving.
And it was-
See how you like it. When
it
I'm
just
not around to
melted
set
his health
rules.
away.
Somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much. But who knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best. Take care, Stanley.
Oh, you shouldn't be employing a kid, should you? Right, down the hole.
Hold on. What are you doing?
Bye.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you.
Apparently the other boy that works with me, Ryan, he's out for a month apparently. Done in his back whilst he was working.
Okay. Last ending for this stream. It is the longest one. I'll do it last.
Oh, it's Black Cat
Stanley had
Curse.
never seen the office this brightly lit. Was
Oh,
it a
yeah.
sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was. When Stanley came to a set of two open... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Let's go.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Uh-oh, here comes trouble.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
You mean killer or
No,
something?
no,
Yeah,
not the
kill.
right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
I don't know.
No, let's see. We went down right,
What?
left, down,
One sec, man.
left,
Okay.
right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
This way. This way, this way, this way. This way. Hey, ending.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes.
Okay.
Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm? Okay, from the top.
From the top. Tippity top.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
A memo? Oh no.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story. I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse.
Yep.
I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Back we go. Back we go.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps. Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time, I have to restart. All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Sorry, got Eleanor Rigby in my head.
Fine. Adventure line. The adventure line.
You see?
What
The
are you
line
on?
knows where the story is. It's over in
You
this
still on?
direction.
Yeah, still on
Onward,
Stanley.
Stanley,
Yeah.
to destiny.
Still on the last one for this
Who'd have
time.
thought? Wouldn't wherever
Still?
we end up be our destination?
Yeah, it's a very long ending,
even
isn't
if
this
there's
one?
no story there. Or
I've gone and
put
grabbed
another
myself
way,
some
is the
munchies
story
and
of no
another pint of
destination
juice.
still a story?
Because I'm making the
Simply
most
by
out
the
of
act
that next
moving
glass you brought
forward,
them.
are we implying a
Yeah, well, make
journey
sure it's a mega
such
pint.
that a destination is inevitably
No, it's always a
conjured
mega
into
pint when it
being
comes to me.
via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself?
I don't do half pints, I only do mega pints.
That got a bit weird
Yep.
back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood. Wait, cut the music. Go back and look at that fern. Wait, what? We're back at the office?
Eleanor
No.
Rigby. In the church in the
Line. You do
I don't
know
actually know
we're
the words
looking
to
for
that
the Stanley
song.
Parable, right?
What
The
song?
story? Oh, no.
Eleanor Rigby.
No, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted
an old
you,
song.
after everything we've been through, you... Well, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Where BF that fucking cat.
You know what,
Punch.
Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's
Take
it
a
ever
bite
done
out
for
of you.
us? We're intelligent people, right? Why
And
can't we
take a
make up
swipe
our own
at you.
story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in?
This one.
I don't know. How about
There's
this
the cat.
direction?
Digimon.
Now, yes. this
Digimon,
is
Linsley
exciting.
Inspire, the
Just
Notice of
me and
Apex.
Stanley forging a new path, a
Who's
new
that?
story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be?
It's
Go
Patricia
wild.
and her
Use
pal.
your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Says Kayla's cousin Courtney.
Not you again. Stanley,
And her boyfriend,
I'd also like
Al,
to veto
don't
the
know.
line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
It's because you.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits. Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times?
8 times.
That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really... No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Ba-ba.
I'm looking at the daily challenge for the Slice Fire next.